Looks good at NASA 1.
Roger.
DCS arm switch is on.
Okay, Victor. Lighting roger arm switch is on. Here comes the throttle. Circuit pressure's in. We have separation.
Hi, this is Kurt. I'm calling you from the International Space Station. I'm up here fixing one of our GPS satellites. No. Just kidding. I'm not actually in space. I'm actually here in Salem at Garmin AT, helping to implement Oracle. But today I'm here to talk to you about creating a business case, or the process of building a business case for upgrades or enhancements. The first step of this process is creating what's called a one-pager. Now, a one-pager is basically a snapshot of the project or issue. It identifies the needs of the project, determines the project's scope and requirements, and includes a cost-benefit analysis. So let me show you an example of a one-pager now. This is the one-pager for the FX Rate Provider project. It's broken down into 4 sections. First is the project summary section, which describes and quantifies the problem that needs to be solved, and it gives you a high-level detail of the problem, including business need, impact, and defines the scope of the project. Next, there's the project value, interdependencies, and phases section. This section tries to estimate the project savings and determine the value that will be gained from the project. This section also identifies if there are any interdependencies involved and lays out the different phases of the project. Next, you have the project overview section, which gives you a quick description of the project, including the project business owners, the IT project owner, target date, and the projected savings. Then you have the impact section, which identifies who the external and internal customers and stakeholders are and what is the impact to them. Also, if there's any global impact of the project. And then at the bottom of this section, it lists out any potential risks or challenges that could come up during the project. Next you have, wait for it, page 2. Yes, that's right, there's a page 2 of the one-pager. Why they call it the one-pager, I don't know. Go figure. Anyway, page 2 is the financial impact detail. This page breaks down in more detail the revenue, gross margin impact, implementation cost, and the project profit and savings. Now the one-pager is complete. It is now sent on to Robert and Paige for review. They review it and make sure it's complete and add any additional information that is needed. Then they send it on to the IT department to review, and they add additional insight, including resource requirements, estimated costs, and timeline. And once they're done with it, they present it to the Finance Steering Committee to prioritize. The Finance Steering Committee uses this prioritization matrix to help determine how a project will be prioritized and ranked. As you can see, it's broken down into several sections. You have the revenue impact, customer impact, efficiency impact, associate impact, risk impact, and urgency. Each of these sections is given a score on how it impacts the project. So for example, if there's no impact, it's given a score of a 0. If there's some positive impact, it would be given a score of a plus, or if there's lots of positive impact, it would receive 2 pluses. Same goes for the negative impact. If there's little negative impact, it would receive 1 minus, and a lot would receive 2 minuses. These sections and each of these project scores now appears on the list of finance projects. This helps the project steering committee, and the Finance Steering Committee, that is, determine which projects need to be worked first and how they should be ranked. Okay, so now the one-pager has been created. It's been reviewed by Robert and Paige in the IT department, and the Finance Steering Committee has reviewed and prioritized it as well. So now you have all these projects just waiting in line for available resources to work on it. The IT department only has so many resources. This pie graph represents the IT resources that are available. So now you have your EBSR projects, which take up a big chunk of these resources. Then you have patch testing and production issues, which take up another chunk of the resources. What's left is for finance projects. And as you can see, there's only a limited amount of IT resources left to work on the finance projects. So all these are just waiting in line for resources. This is just one of the issues we have with getting projects done in a timely manner. Next up, Mindy's going to talk in more detail why it takes so long to get projects completed. But before I turn it over to Mindy, I want to make sure, are there any questions? Yes, the young man in the back. Yes, that is correct, yes. Okay, any more? Linda Bryant, yes, how are you? Have you tried rebooting? Or sometimes you can unplug the computer and lick the cord and then plug it back in. I find that works quite well. All right, if there are no more questions, I'm going to turn it over to Mindy.